We'll continue to look at how modules can be applied to support us when programming in Python. Specifically, we'll be looking at the OS module. As we now know, a module is a related collection of functions in a file. A module reduces redundant code and avoids the continuous reinvention of the wheel when programming. The OS module provides an interface to the operating system that Python is running on, whether that be Windows, Mac, or Linux. The OS module allows us to interact with the underlying operating system in various ways. These include navigating the file system and retrieving files and their contents. Once interfaced, the OS module allows you to access several operating system functions, notably the creation of directories and the deletion of directories. To be able to manipulate directories in the operating system with Python, we firstly need to import the OS module. Here, we're going to be using the Python console in PyCharm. Let's get straight into importing the OS module. To view information on all the functionality that the OS module offers, we need to invoke the help OS statement. The help OS statement allows us to see all the functionality that the OS module provides us with. So we can see here, it allows us to rename directories, remove directories, read, open, and so make directories, and so on and so forth. We can also change the current directory we're working in, but before we do that, let's identify what directory we're working in, and we can view or ascertain the current directory we're working in by evoking the getWorkingDirectory method. So let's print that out. So we'll output the current working directory by using the getCurrentWorkingDirectory method. There we go. We can see that we are working in the C users laptop PyCharm project untitled path or directory. If we'd like to change the directory, we'd have to use the change directory method. Again, and this time we must pass the path we'd like to change to. And let's call on the os.getCurrentWorkingDirectory method again to confirm that we've changed to the new directory. And there we go. We can view the contents of the directory we're working in, calling on the os.listDirectory method. So if we say os.listDirectory and we call on we pass to it the current directory, here we can see that the following items contained within that folder. So we're looking at the contents within the Python Programming for Newbies folder. We can see a desktop.ini file, a file IO folder, a path details.txt file, programs folder, and a resources folder. To delete a directory, we can simply invoke the os.remove directory method, which calls on the remove directory function from within the os module. So if we say os.remove directory, and if we pass that to it, and we say, let's say we want to remove the folder file.io, or file.io, sorry. And now, if we call on the list directory for the current directory, we can see the file.io folder is no longer in the Python Programming for Newbies folder. Now, to delete a directory and all the intermediate directories, that is, all the subdirectories within a directory, you will need to call on the shuttle module. So that means you'd have to import a module called shuttle. And this module allows us to delete all subdirectories and the files they contain within a directory. But we'd have to call on the remove tree function within shuttle. So it would be shuttle.rm_tree, and then you'd have to pass the file path, the path of the directory and its subdirectories that you'd like to remove. In this case, we don't want to use this. We don't want to delete all our files, so we won't execute that command. Creating a directory is easily done by invoking the os.makeDirectory method. So let's say we'd like to create a folder called new directory. We can just simply provide the following statement: os.makeDirectory There we go. And then we can tell it that we would like to create a new directory called new dir. We've got an error there, so let's have a look at why the error is there. Now we can actually just create the directory without inputting the path. So if we type in the statement os.makeDirectory, since we are already in the path directory that we want to create the directory within, we can just provide Python with the name of the directory we'd like to create. And there we go. And then if we call the list directory of the current directories statement, we can see that we now have the new folder within this path, or within this directory. So here we have called the method os.makeDirectory, which calls the makeDirectory function from within the os module.